documentation of the report is generally written for the purpose of solving a problem. Okay, so take a look at we're gonna be looking back with the previous discussion about your purpose or function of a report. Sabi natin, di ba, meron tayong apat doon. It could be either informative, okay, examination, it could be research, or recommendation. So from among the four, so which function or purpose of a report kaya mag-fall under sa formal report? So basically, under focus on this one, solving a problem. So from among the four, alin kaya din yung pertain with solving a problem? Okay, we are referring to your research. So research function po or research purpose po yung dinadirect ng isa pong formal report. So basically, okay, we are leaning towards discussing a research report. So one example of a formal report is a research thesis or a dissertation. So we are going to be making use of that, no, as a reference for this. Okay, define lang din natin example po natin ng photo ng isa pong formal report. As you can notice, hardbound, meron siya ngayong cover page, ayan, meron title sa front. So this is an example of a formal report. And by the looks of it, medyo makapal siya, no, fit siya in appearance. So it contains, now we can assume this contains a lot of pages. So that is an example of a formal report. Okay, so next slide tayo, define lang din natin muna si informal report. So report, no? So what do you mean by an informal report? A document shared inside the organization. The main purpose of this report is to present certain information such as memos, emails, and papers. Such as this example, no? Ayan, a memorandum. So a memorandum is an example of an informal report. Even incident report, a police blotter, no? Kapag may blotter kayo sa barangay, so that is an example of an informal report. So how it is differ with, how does it differ, no, with the formal report? So sabi natin, in terms of length, if it is more than 5 pages, it is a formal report. Kapag less than 5 pages siya, a page or two, okay, we can consider that as an informal report. So one thing, it can circulate or it circulates to a limited group of individuals. Halimbawa, sa inyo lang, sa klase nyo lang, halimbawa, kami lang, group of teachers of Southeast Asia lang. So that is an example of an informal report. So take a look at this one. Remember yung sinend ko sa group chat ninyo, yung memorandum that was being sent by, or that was being released by the Bulacan Governor Daniel Fernando, okay, in relation to the suspension of classes due to the aftermath and effect of Typhoon Ulysses. So that's an example of an informal report. Okay? So moving on, ayan. So we are going to be discussing the several parts of a formal report. Sabi natin, for a report to be considered a formal one, dapat po lahat ng parts ng report na yun ay makikita natin dito. First in the list is yung tinatawag po natin na title page. So for a report to be considered a formal one, it must contain a title page. So from the word itself, meron tayong title. Basically, a page that is, ano po, we call this one, that is being specific, no, to your title, no. Ano po ba yung pinapertain natin dito? It contains the title of the report, the writer's name, and the date of the report transmission natin, no. So three important things or three important elements in the title page. Unang-una is yung title mo, sino ba yung author nun, tapos yung date kung kailan mo na-accomplish or kailan mo ginawa yung research report na po na yun. Okay, so one example of this one is papakita ko sa inyo. Ayan. Okay, this one is an example of a title page. Sige, before we discuss pala yung example ng title page, no, kasi a title page can be expressed, no, in different ways, three different ways. So the title page may be presented in three forms. Una is yung one line or parallel lines of the same length. So one line title page could be pyramid title page or an inverted pyramid title page. So kapag one line, basically parallel line, same length lang po yung all the contents natin inside a title page. Kapag pyramid naman, alam naman natin yung itsura ng isang pyramid, no? So basically, a triangle. So a formal triangle or an actual triangle. Kapag inverted pyramid naman, so pabaliktad na triangle. So let's say, for example, this one. So take a look at this example. Meron po tayong title page dito. Okay, an actual report. So this was being done, no, in 2018. So this is an example of a title page. Okay, sir, bakit po? Sabi natin, when you speak of a title page, it must contain the title, the authors, and then the date, transmission. Okay, so unang-una, meron ba tayong title? Yes po, sir. What is our title? Performance of data learners in relation to increased test towards an informed glossary of literary allusions. So check na po tayo with the title. Let's scroll it down. So meron po ba siya ngayong writers of authors? Meron po, sir. So we have 5 authors in this research report. So meron na rin po tayong writers. And then as well as yung date kung kailan na-accomplish or kailan ginawa itong research report. So basically, this page of the I'm showing to you is an example of a title page. So sabi nga rin kanina, it could be presented in 3 different ways. So one line, pyramid or inverted pyramid. Alin kaya sa tatlo yung ginamit namin in writing this title page? Okay, sige nga. So this one, in writing this title page na ginamit namin, we have used yung inverted pyramid po. So as you can notice, no, medyo itsurang inverted pyramid siya. So medyo malapit sa taas. As you go along at the end, no, medyo makikot na siya. So all those things, length lang ito, yung unang line natin, tsaka itong dito sa middle part, no, somehow. Okay, it's still considered an inverted pyramid title page. So yan po yung example natin na kasama. Okay, next. Next in the list is yung tinatawag po natin na, ayan, call this one, a dedication page and an acknowledgement page. No, in here, so sa presentation po natin is magkaiba po sila. Sige, discuss natin yung dalawa. It is an offering of the report to an individual or to a group of individual. How about the acknowledgement page? It contains words of thanks to those who have helped in the completion of the report. Okay, so what is the difference between the two? Okay, meron po tayong difference in terms of terminologies, pero po yung idea is magkamukha and magkalapit po sila. Sir, paano po yun? E sabi nga din, magkaiba po sila. Okay, para hindi tayo malito, let's put it this way, magkapareho lang po si dedication page and acknowledgement page. So some reports, okay, ang ginagamit na term is dedication page. So some reports, ginagamit na term is the acknowledgement page. Kasi they can function as one. Okay, so one example of an acknowledgement page or dedication page is this one. So ipapakita ko sa inyo. Sige, ipapakita ko rin sa inyo example ng dedication page para makita nyo na same function lang naman sila. Okay, ayan po. Sige, let's scroll it down. Ayan. Meron po tayong isang example dito na, ayan, acknowledgement page. Okay, sabi natin ng acknowledgement page, it is a particular area in your research report. It is an appendix, no, na attached sa ating research paper to express kung sino ba yung acknowledge, no, sino ba yung nag-contribute, kung sino ba yung tumulong to accomplish a particular research report. So let's take a look at this one. As you can notice, meron tayo, ayan, unang-una is the researchers would like to express their sincerest gratitude to the following. So their names and individuals being mentioned in this page. So una-una, the families, okay, ano pa, so there are individuals dito, so yung mga panelists natin, yung mga naging validators natin, ayan, so yung sinasabi natin with this one. So everybody who contributed, okay, somehow, kahit paano, kahit hindi natin siya kilala personally, as long as nakatulong siya, no, in creating this particular research report, ilalagay po natin siya sa ating acknowledgement report. As well as yung naging participants natin. Let's say, for example, gumawa kayo ng research report. Sabi natin, halimbawa na lang isang research report ninyo. Na-identify nyo kung alin yung mas okay yung public natin o yung jeepney drivers natin. So, modern jeepney ba? O sa traditional jeepney ba? So, sino yung i-interview nyo doon? Sino yung participants nyo? Basically, the jeepney drivers. So, in writing your research paper, in the acknowledgement page, i-acknowledge nyo rin ngayon yung contributions ng mga jeepney drivers kasi sila yung naging participants nyo para makapag-come up kayo with particular data. So, dito, kagaya nito, ang naging respondents namin is sa grade 10 learners from Bimapa High School at Chongset Academy. So, mention din namin sila. Ayan. And then, before we end, no, the researchers' friends for sharing their knowledge and support throughout the process of making this study. As you can notice, every smallest detail, kahit maliit na contribution siya, as long as you have contributed into the research-making process, you will be acknowledged. And then, tawid tayo sa dedication page. So, tingnan natin sa dedication page kung magkapareho ba talaga sila. Ayan. So, take a look at this one. This output is also dedicated to our lovely friends and comrades who have also lend a hand to support blah 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 blah. So take a look at the one. Pag binasa natin siya entirely, no, halos kamukha lang siya nung ginamit natin with an acknowledgement page. Pero dito, it is somehow medyo mas coherent or medyo mas concise yung ginamit natin dito kasi it is in the form of a paragraph. Very unlikely with the acknowledgement page na para siyang tawag dito, no? Line by line yung ginamit natin. So, pero ganun din naman yung purpose niya. You get the reason why, sabi ko sa inyo, wag malilito with the difference between dedication page and acknowledgement. Bottom line po, okay, they also function as one. Okay, moving on. You have your, ayan, preface. It states the purpose and the scope of the report. So, preface can be, interchanged with the word, tawiran muna natin siya, abstract. Ayan, so abstract natin, or introduction natin is yung preface natin. Kasi preface is usually found in a book, no, in a workbook or a textbook. Pero po, sa isang research report, we are using, no, most of the time yung tinatawag natin ng abstract and introduction. It states the purpose and the scope of the report. So what is your topic about? What is your research all about? What is the background of it? What is the scope of it? So balikan lang natin yung discuss natin last time. Pinakita ko sa inyo to. Ang isang example po ng isang research report is meron tayong scope and limitation and background of the study. And then, this being umbrella into a introduction or abstract natin. So meron tayong background of the study, tungkol ba siya saan? Ayan. And then pag bumaba tayo dito, as we go along, meron tayong scope and limitation. So it is being umbrella, no, in a introduction aspect of a research paper or abstract natin. Introduction abstract is similar as well. So ang preface po natin, it can also function, no, as an abstract. Okay? Moving on is yung forward natin. So basically yung mga parts na makikita nyo rito is somehow can be located sa mga libro, no? Kaya medyo napag-i-interchange natin sila. Anyway, discuss na rin natin sila, no, for additional information and additional knowledge. So forward, it contains the word of a person other than the author about the report. So sabi dito, okay, a page that is being allotted, okay, could be informational page, it could be a persuasive page, it could be inspirational page, no, yung magiging premise ng ating forward. Pero po, nakalagay dito, contains the word of a person other than the author. So basically, pinili natin ito is ibang tao, okay? Ibang professional, ibang individual, okay, na maglalagay ka doon sa iyong formal report. But it doesn't necessarily mean like that. So pag sinasabi ko natin na forward, okay, it is not limited with others' writings. No, pwede mo rin siyang ilagay yung gusto mong sabihin as a writer. So pwede, what do you want to include in there? So what is the topic about? Okay, ano ba yung background ng naging research mo? Why do you have come up with this particular research? What were your reasons kung bakit nakinundak yung research na ito? So yun yung nilalagay natin guys with a forward. Okay, moving on. We have your abstract. Ay, yung sinasabi natin with the preface kanina. Abstract or introduction, it tells us the condensed version, or else it gives us an overview kung ano ba yung makikita natin as we go along reading all throughout this report natin. It's either descriptive or informational. Most of the time, ginagamit natin si descriptive. Bakit po siya? Sir, ini-express lang naman natin kung ano yung makikita nila, ano yung makikita ng readers doon sa ating report na yun. So, take a look at this one. Meron din tayong isang example ng abstract dito. Ayan. So, as you can notice, an abstract, meron tayong title page, okay, the researchers, and then dito, there is a particular area in here, which is, nag-discuss tayo kung tungkol ba siya saan, no? Yung research report natin. O, let's say, for example, ito. This study on students' reading comprehension was chosen by the researchers because reading poetry can help them to improve their reading comprehension skills. So, hindi yung sinasabi natin dito, dinidefine lang natin kung bakit nag-come up si researchers, okay, into writing this particular report. And then, yung objective natin dito, ano ba yung objective natin dito? Gusto namin ma-identify yung, reading comprehension level, no, ng mga grade 10 students. Kasi kung tawag dito, ang tama ba or angkop ba yung reading comprehension skills nila sa grade level nila, or medyo delay ba sila or medyo advanced. So yun yung mga bagay na gusto namin malaman. So this one is an example of an abstract or your introduction. Okay? Moving on, syempre meron tayong tinatawag na table of contents. Okay. The table of contents is an example also of our appendices or attachments lang naman ito. So, it could also be located in books as well as in thesis and dissertation. So, table of contents, a chronological lists of the items contained in the report with corresponding pages. So, alam naman natin yung itsura ng isang table of contents. So, saan ba makikita itong area na ito? Saan ba makikita itong discussion na ito? Sige, for visual purposes, so, pakita natin yung example po na isang table of contents. So, this one is an example of a table of contents. So, take a look at this one. Ayan, so, appendices natin. Okay, so, there are two ways, no? There are two parts of a title page. Unang-una is yung Roman numerals, tapos yung anong tawag dito, I forgot the term, no, yung difference between the two, yung Roman numerals tsaka I really forgot the term, no? So pagka nag-meet tayo, pakimention siya sa akin. Anyways, ayan, itong una, yung ginamitan natin na Roman numeral page, no, these are your what do you call this one, appendices. So there are two parts of the research report. So parts of research report. So itong mga parts na to is pwede pa natin siyang i-classify into two. So meron tayong appendices, tapos yung main content of the research. So ano po ba yung mga appendices natin? So yung mga ginamitan natin ngayon ng Roman numerals. So unang-una is yung title page, tapos meron tayong table of contents. Okay, okay, lahat po ng ginamitan natin ng Roman numerals, so those are being considered as appendices. Ayan, approval sheet, so hindi natin siya ilagay. Abstract, basically. Okay, ano pa? Yung mga diniscuss natin kanina. Ayan, so acknowledgement. Ayan, so that is an example as well of ayan. So yun lang naman, no, ano pa ba yung preface, yung forward, so dedication page. So yun yung mga kinakonsider natin as appendices. Okay? So lahat po ng ginamitan natin ng Roman numeral, those are considered as appendices. And then, yung mga ginamitan natin ng mga ganitong numbers, numerical figures, eto na nga yung main content, no, yung main content of the research report. Okay po? Ayan. So yun lang naman yung example natin ng yung tawag dito ng mga table of contents. And then, move on tayo guys with the next one, which is your ayan, list of figures, a chronological list of tables, charts, pictures, graphs, and other graphic aids in the report with corresponding pages. So, gumamit ka ba ng tables, gumamit ka ba ng graph to express yung, or to interpret your data na nag-gather mo with the data gathering procedure. So, yun nilalagay natin with list of figures. So, this one is another item under your, ano po siya sir, appendix. So, appendices din ito, no? So, lagay natin is list of figures. So, ayan yung nakikita nyo sa mga books, yung mga figure 1, figure 2, table 1, table 2. So, let us check no, if meron tayong ganito dito sa ating research example. Sige nga. Okay, ayan. Ayan. Okay, ito siya guys. Natin lang natin no, para makita mo yung hindi natin tingnan. Hopefully meron no, para may visual representation tayo. Ayan, I can find it, no, in this particular research info. Anyways, the content of this one naman kasi is yung mga ginamit mong figures, no, all throughout the research report. Let's say, for example, ito, sa second part natin, bago matapos yung, ayan, ito. Okay, so this one, gumamit tayo ngayon dito na, ayan, gumamit tayo ngayon dito ng conceptual paragraph. So this one is figure 2. So dito, as long as all the other, as well as the other figures and tables that you have used in the entire research report, doon mo siya ngayon lalagay sa page na yun. Pero, magkakasama po sila doon. So that is an example of your, this is an example of list of figures or list of appendices. So that is an example as well of an appendix. So yun lang po yun. So ano pa po ba siya? Baba pa natin ito. Lahat ng figures na ginamit nito since sa lesson 4, that those tables na ginamit natin, such as this one, ayan, table 1, so magkakasama po siya doon. Table 2, table 1.2, okay. Ayan, table 1, table 2, ayan, so lahat po ngayon siya magkakasama, as well as this one, ayan, table 3. So all these tables, all those figures is nakaseparate po siya sa appendix na yun, which is tinatawag po natin na list of figures. Okay? And then, tawid tayo ngayon sa body report or sa body or report. So, tatawid tayo ngayon sa main content ng formal report natin kung tungkol ba saan and the actual discussion of this research report. It contains the introduction, the discussion, the conclusion, and then the recommendation. So, ayun na po yun. So, yung chapters natin, chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, o sa iba, chapters 4 lang, sa iba, chapters 6 lang. So, ayan na po yung body ng ating pong research report. So, unang-una dito, tawid na tayo rito is yung body natin. So, dito na ngayon si, ano po yung sir? Introduction, methods, methodology, ayan, ano pa ba, results, or yung findings na tawag natin, conclusion, and recommendation. Okay, so this one are the vital or important parts of your research report. So, nandito na lahat ng discussion. So, ayan po ang nagka-contain or yung laman ng ating pong research. Okay, next is your ayan, so appendix. Ayan yung sinasabi ko kanina, no? So, everything that we have discussed, yung mga minor things, minor parts of a research report or a formal report, that is everything under an appendix. So, a supplementary material added at the end of the report. So, last part siya ngayon nilalagay. So, this, ang appendix po, these are supplementary materials, no, na ginamit mo in conducting your research report na pwedeng relevant sa readers na iba or pwedeng hindi naman relevant sa maraming readers. Okay, the reason why optional po yung paglalagay ng ating pong appendices, no, yung mga appendix natin. Kaya usually sa huli siya nilalagay. So, another example of an appendix is, ayan, ito. So, yung ginamit namin ng instrumentation, kung ginamit kayo ng survey, kung ginamit kayo ng questionnaire, so that is an example of an appendix. Ito pa, yung mga, ayan, yung mga validating sheet natin, ayan, so yung mga letters, so those are example of appendices, no? Let's say, for example, ayan, so para makapag-conduct kami, okay, ng questionnaire or ng surveys to a public school is nag-ask kami ng approval sa Division of City Schools in Manila, and then nag-grant kami to conduct a survey, okay, sa Victorino Mata High School. Okay, as well as yung mga instrument na ginamit namin, no, ay nilalagay din namin siya. So, those are your examples of appendices po. Ayan, so yung mga papers na yan, yung mga letters na yan, so those are being included in appendices. Okay? Ayan po yung itsura ng appendices. Ayan, marami. Medyo marami. So, ayan, yung mga parts ng appendices natin. So, yun po yun, no? And then glossary. So, when you speak of glossary, it's simply an alternate for the definition of terms, an alphabetical list of technical terms and their meaning. So, dito, papakita ko sa inyo, gumamit lang kami ng ibang term, no, with the glossary, pero po, ang ginamit namin is definition of terms, I believe. Ayan, usually, yan sa mga related literature. After finishing discussing the related literature, you are providing your readers, okay, ayan, definition of terms. Ano ba yung mga technical terms na ginamit mo and how it is being used in this particular research or formal report. So, unang-una is allusion, ayan, traditionalist, ayan, ito, hindi lang siya ngayon naka-arrange alphabetically, no, pero the idea with the glossary or definition of terms is, ilalagay mo yan para may idea sa readers, no, on how a particular word or a term is being used in this research report. Okay, ayan po yung sinasabi natin guys with a glossary or a definition of terms. Okay, next. Ayan, bibliography, an alphabetical list of references, materials, books, magazines. Ayan, so bibliography or references. So, before, ginagamit natin si word na references, no? Pero kasi ngayon sa APA style, no, ginagamit ngayon natin si call this one? Bibliography po. Okay, pakita ko sa inyo yung example ng bibliography. Ayan, so dito ginamit pa namin is references pa yung gamit namin dito. So most likely ginamit namin dito kasi ay mga internet links, no? Ayan, so came from Google, so konti lang yung mga nakita namin from the book. So ganyan po yung paggamit o pag-present ng ating pong bibliography or yung references. Okay? Yan po yung isang example. So, as you can notice, marami. Ibig sabihin, marami kaming pinagkuhaan. Ayan. Ng ideas. Marami kaming pinagkuhaan ng tawag ko na basis. Okay? For us to be able to conduct a particular formal report. And next is yung index natin. Alphabetical list of topics discussed in the report with corresponding pages natin. So basically, it's an example of appendix 3, no? Parang ngayon siyang table of contents. Ayan. Parang ngayon siyang table of contents na pero parang siyang subcategory lang ng table of contents. So that is an example of an index. Okay? Moving on. Ayan. So there are 5 objectives of a report. So meron ngayon tayo. So para hindi natin makalimutan, gamitin natin siyang acronym ng SMART. So S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for achievable or attainable, okay, R is for relevance or result-oriented, and then T is for time-bound. So dapat, para for you to be able to accomplish an effective report, so dapat ayan yung mga bagay na ito consider natin. Okay, is your research topic specific? Kaya mo ba siyang i-measure? Kaya mo ba siyang matapos, i-attain? Okay, relevant ba siya? Okay, and then ayan, so time bound, so pinakonsider din natin yung time dito. Can you finish this in a given period of time? So yung po yung sinasabi natin with objectives of the report. Una-una is specific, so S natin, objectives must not be broad. Okay, so in writing a composition, hindi lang po sa research report, it will be important for a writer or an author to begin with the end in mind. So ano po yung sabihin lang, sir, dapat bago mo palang gawin ng isang bagay, meron ka na agad na objective, meron ka na agad na goal, ano yung gusto mo mangyari, ano yung gusto mo ma-accomplish towards the end of your composition. They must deal with specific questions intended to be answers or a specific problem needs to be solved. Ayan. Ayun yung sinasabi natin dito. Kasi po, kapag broad or vague yung ating pong research topic sa isang research report, ang tendency niyan is confusion or ambiguity. So, parang ngayon lang siyang i-illustrate lang natin siya with, alam niyo sa kabayo, guys, no? Diba, meron silang takip sa mata para diretso lang yung tingin nila. Similar with writing a research report or a formal report, no? Para hindi para hindi may divert yung attention natin sa iba, we must set a particular direction kung saan natin gusto dalhin talaga yung research report natin. So yung sinasabi natin with a specific objective or yung tawag ng specificity. Next is your ayan, is the outcome described with a strong action versus conduct, develop, ayan. So this one are guidelines, no, para makapili tayo ng isang magandang research report. So you can begin your research questions with conduct, develop, build, plan, or execute. Kasi basically, your objective in here is to make something, is to suggest something. So out of your research question, out of your research topic, ayan yung mga gusto mong mangyari. Ayan, who will be involved? So who are your participants? What are the scope and limitation of your research report? Sabi natin kanina, bakit important before, why is it important to include the scope and limitation of our study? Simply because that will determine if the objective of report will be specific enough. So, sino ba yung target people natin? Students lang ba ng ABM? Students lang ba ng UMS? Students lang ba ng TBS? Students lang ba ng ICT? Okay? Yung po yung sinasabi natin dito kasi, let's say for example, sinabi mo sa iyong research, yung participants mo are grade 11 students. That's it. So, grade 11 students are very, malawak siyang idea. Napakalawak niya. So, it could be grade 11 students of other schools, grade 11 students of Marilao, grade 11 students of the entire Philippines. So, the tendency nun is, magiging magulo po yung outcome ng inyong research. Okay? Did we get their input? Are the actions assigned to specific people or groups? Will this outcome lead to desirable results? Ayan. So, take a look at this final question. Kaya mo ba ngayon siyang sagutin? So, yun yung sinasabi natin dito. So, in writing a research report, in choosing a topic, sa pagpili pa lang po ng topic, i-consider na natin can we answer, can we measure, can we attain this particular data that we are looking for? Which leads us to our letter M, which is yung tinatawag natin na measurable. Ayan yung sinasabi natin dito na nag-lead sa ating final question. Will this outcome lead to desirable results? Kaya mo ba siyang i-measure in Filipino? Objectives must be quantifiable. When you speak of quantifiable, okay, they must involve variables or data whose values can be measured of the statistical tools. Pag sinabi natin measurable, kaya mo ba siyang makita yung outcome niya towards the end, okay, of the discussion. One good example of this one, I've encountered a classmate, no, as inyo, no, may tinanong ako, so nung nagtanong ako, na-experience na kayong gumawa ng research report, sabi niya, ang ginamit nila is yung effect daw, yung effect ng pagkakaroon yata ng relationship while having studies. So the question effect is something that is not quantifiable. Hindi mo pwedeng ma-measure si effect, no? Bakit po sir? Kasi it is subjective. So take a look at this one. Pag pipili po tayo ng research topic, ang pipiliin natin is of something that is objective more than subjective. Bakit po sir? Kasi kapag subjective ang pinili natin, it is something that we cannot measure. Okay? Kasi nga subjective siya, it depends on people's opinion. So yung sinasabi natin with measurability of your research topic. So wag po tayong magbibigyan ng research topic sa tungkol sa effect. If the effect of blah blah blah, okay, ano pa? How a blah 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 affects the blah blah blah, so things like that. So kapag effect, X na agad po yun kasi it is not something na pwede mo siyang ma-measure kasi nga po it is subjective. Okay, so yung sinasabi natin with measurability. And ayan, statistical tools natin siya. Kapag sinurvey mo ba siya, pag nakita mo ba halimbawa, tinanong mo ba siya, gumamit ka ba ng survey, gumamit ka ng questionnaire, pag nakita mo yung responses nila, is matatransform mo siya, okay, into something that is objective. So yun yung mga kinikonsider natin yung measurability. Next is, ayan, how will we know the change as a word? What are the metrics? How will we collect the metrics or yung data na tinatawag natin? Next is yung A, attainable. Ayan, objectives must be capable of accomplishment so that the report can be served its purpose. Ayan, sinasabi natin that it must be, ano po, it must be real time, it must be actual, it must be applicable, no? Kasi kapag hindi naman siya attainable, hindi naman siya, anong tawag dito, what do you call this one, in relation to reality, okay, can it be done in the proposed time frame? Ayan, yung sinasabi natin dito, are the limitation and constraints understood? Can we achieve this outcome within the resources available? Ayan yung sinasabi natin with attainable or attainability nito, no? It is being something practical, or pwede tayo mag-proceed dito with something na practical, na sa practicality natin dito. Pag ginawa na natin itong research topic na ito, available ba yung mga resources? Kaya mo ba siyang i-finish or i-accomplish within a given period of time? Let's say, for example, you are given 2 to 3 months lang, kaya mo ba siyang tapusin? So, yun yung sinasabi natin with attainability. Next is yung realistic. Ayan, objectives must deal with real-life situations, hence the result of the report will have a real-life application. Okay, so, relevance po yung pag-uusapan natin dito. Realistic or relevance po ito. After conducting this particular research, meron ba magbe-benefit dito? May i-apply mo ba siya in real-life situation? So, those are the things that we need to consider sa relevance siya sa reality, no, na ating po report. Let's say, for example, gagawa ka ng research and towards the end, hindi mo naman siya ma-apply. So, ano yung magiging purpose ng report na yun? So, benefit mo lang yung purpose ng pag-conduct mo research report na yun. So, dapat po, mag-benefit yung maraming tao or somehow kayo as researchers, okay, and then may i-apply mo siya in reality. So that is it po, no? And then lastly is yung, ayan, do we have resources available to achieve the outcome? Is it possible to achieve this outcome? Okay. What is the baseline for the population? What are their priorities? So yun yung sabi natin with this one. And then theta is time bound. Objectives must be attained within the prescribed time limit. So halos kaparehas ni attainability, no? Over what time frame does this outcome need to be achieved? Okay, so let's say for example this one, 2 to 3 months. Kaya mo ba siyang tapusin within 2 to 3 months? Kaya mo ba siyang tapusin within a month? Kaya mo ba siyang tapusin within a year? So yung sinasabi natin with time bound. We must be we must attain, no, okay, our goals, our objectives, okay, in a given period of time. So yung po yung sinasabi natin na objectives na report. So smart lang naman yon. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and then time bound. So kapag lahat yun ay na-observe nyo in conducting a research report, then magiging maganda po yung outcome ng inyong research. Okay? So, those are the discussion about the parts of a formal report, no? I hope is mahusay natin yung discussion ko today. So, we will be allotting a separate meeting for your questions and clarification about the lesson. Yun lang guys, I'll just see you next time for the next series or next installment of this asynchronous na mode of online business training na ginagawa natin. And thank you guys for listening. Hopefully, natutunan natin yung lesson natin today. So thank you guys for listening. I'll just see you guys next time.